St. Mary's University, a school founded in the Catholic intellectual tradition, open to all, welcoming international students from around the world.
St. Mary's University is very diverse. We have students and faculty from different countries.
Canada is a mosaic, and St. Mary's is really in line with that.
A beautiful campus overlooking one of the largest urban parks in North America.
We do have Fish Creek Park. It's really beautiful, especially in the summer.
With degree programs that can lead to careers in business, law, science, medicine, and teaching.
St. Mary's can really personalize their application process. We have the academic advisors that you can always touch base with to talk about your needs, your concerns. Know that there are people here who are willing to help.
St. Mary's makes its home in Calgary, Canada, a modern, clean, safe city of 1.5 million people. An ethnically diverse city that celebrates many cultures.
Whatever you are looking for in terms of culture, Calgary is very, very diverse, and you'll be able to find a community that you'll fit in with.
I think for me, the benefit has been learning about other cultures.
A city surrounded by natural beauty and spectacular outdoor adventure.
If you really love the mountains, you get to do lots of hiking, skiing. The average class size is about 20 to 25, depending on what you're taking. You're going to have lots of engagement, not only with your professor, but also with your classmates.
It makes it very easy for students to feel at home. It's really a community and a family.
A welcoming university experience like no other. St. Mary's, discover your passion, define your success.
So I would just want to confirm if you guys are able to see my screen here, which says St. Mary University.
Yes, we can see this.
Perfect, great. So first of all, Richard has already introduced me, but again, my name is Pankti. Thank you once again for joining the session today, and thank you team for having me here today. And today we will be talking about St. Mary University, which is located in Alberta, Canada. So St. Mary University is a 28-year-old research university, and of course it is in Canada. Now, of course, we all know that Canada is a home to almost 37.5 million people. It is the largest country in the Western Hemisphere, and it's the second largest country next to Russia. It is extremely diverse country. Some fun facts about St. Mary University would be that some fun facts about Canada would be, I would say Celine Dion, Justin Bieber, Drake, or Ryan Reynolds, they all are Canadian celebrities. Now, St. Mary, Canada is beautiful in terms of gorgeous landscapes. It has 13 provinces, and we'll just be talking about a little bit of tourist attractions. These are going to be all of the major tourist attractions in Canada. So places like Niagara Falls, Whistler, the Bay of Fundy garner the attention of tourists and international travelers alike. Now, Canada has a booming tourism industry, which was in the year 2019, over 22 million international tourists visited Canada. Now, coming to Alberta. Alberta is a province where we are located, and it is a home to over 4.3 million people. It is one of the 3 prairie provinces, aptly named for the beautiful stretches of the wheat that cover some of our provinces. Again, in the slide, excuse me. Again, in the slide, you will be able to see there are some beautiful tourist spots here like Lake Louise, Banff, Drumheller Hoodoos, Royal Tyler Museum, or Columbia Icefield Jasper. Now coming to Calgary, which is exactly where our university is located. Calgary is home to 1.5 million people, and it is also home for Calgary Stampede. You can just see on the right hand below corner, which is the Calgary Stampede, and you can see how beautiful that festival is. It is one of the world's famous, even known for rodeos, carnival rides, concerts, and of course fried food. One of our landmark is again Calgary Tower. You can climb up the step, look at the glass floor down to the city streets below. Then of course we have the Calgary Zoo, which is a fun attraction as well. Glenbow Museum or the Heritage Park are also great places to visit if you would want to learn more about Calgary, or rather more about Calgary history, I would say. This is the video that we've already saw, so I'm just going to skip this slide. Now, St. Mary, as it rightly says, it is a liberal arts institution, which means that we are a cultivation of critical, creative, and curious mind, teaching you on how to think instead of what to think. So we make sure that all of our programs are developed in such a way where you are growing not only as a person or professionally, but also personally. So it is your career and your personal development. And we have a lot of options in terms of liberal arts. So I'll be coming to that, but you can definitely go ahead and choose from any that you like. Now, St. Mary was founded by Catholic intellectual traditions. Yes, as the name rightly suggests, we embrace the Catholic intellectual tradition, which means that we are committed to the formation of the whole person, creating thoughtful and compassionate citizens who are dedicated to social justice. We also would want to make sure and let students know that though we are founded by Catholic traditions, we are a university which is open to all, and we approximately get about 1,200 students every year that comes to our campus. This is the actual footage of our campus, which is St. Mary University. You will be able to see that the entire campus is surrounded by greenery, which is our Fish Creek Park, as you would have seen in the video as well. So when you're studying at St. Mary's, you'll find a lot of deers and a lot of wildlife on campus as well. The entire campus can be walked about in 5 to 7 minutes, not more than that. And here you will be able to see this is our famous historic water tower. We have the student building, then we have the library halls and the administration buildings, which are right here. And there's ample parking space as well. You can always expect a higher level of help coming to a smaller campus because your staff and a faculty, because you'll always have your staff and faculty know you as a person, which is why we are a very small knit community. You are never a roll number when it comes to St. Mary's. You're always a name. You will always have help from your professors, from your facilitators. You can always talk to them, post your lectures, post your sessions, and if there's any concern, any help, they'll always be there to help you out. Now, coming to our programs, we are currently offering 3-year and 4-year programs for undergraduate degrees. Now, for our 3-year programs, we have Bachelor's of Arts degree, which is with a concentration in general studies, English, history, or psychology. And then we have our 4-year programs, which can be for Bachelor's of Arts with majors in English, psychology, liberal studies, social justice, and Catholic studies, and our Bachelor's of Science in biology. We also offer minors in biology, which can be into, we also offer minors in biology, Canadian studies, Catholic studies, drama, English, family studies, management, philosophy, political studies. So there are a lot of options that one can choose from. And then, of course, we have our 4-year programs. So one may always question that what is different between a 3-year degree program or a 3-year undergraduate program to a 4-year undergraduate program. Now, our 4-year degree program is always called as a capstone project, for which there'll be a year-long independent research, and you will have a guidance of a faculty member. And if let's say if you're doing academically very well and your projects are very well, then your name can also be published, or you can also have your presentations at the local and international conferences too. So this actually gives a student an edge over the 3-year programs, wherein for the entire year, you will have a faculty who will be assisting you in your project, and your project will be published at your local or international conferences. So this gives a student an edge and kind of get published in the publications as well on how well your project has been. So basically it just tells you that don't simply go to St. Mary's, but be a part of it. and how can you be a part of St. Mary's University? So one of the ways is, of course, if you like athletics, then at St. Mary's we've got tons of things that can actually help you get involved. We have a national level in cross country running, track. You can also compete against universities and colleges in the ACAC, where women and men play basketball, and we've also won national awards for it. At the same time, we also have a fitness center, which is right on campus. We also have a campus recreation where you can do things like yoga, tabata, taekwondo, and any other team that you would want to start, let's say like hockey or soccer or volleyball clubs. All that you need to do is just go to our athletic department, let them know about the team you would want to start or the sport you would want to start, and the sports team will actually take care of that and get you covered absolutely free of cost. So you can just have your team with you and you will be able to play any sport at St. Mary's University. So if not much, and if you don't want to get involved in sports much, but then you can always watch sports and still be involved in athletic games, and they're absolutely free to watch for all St. Mary's students. Now, coming to the clubs, so you can get as creative as you want with joining our community choir or our drama club, or you can also try and experiment in the science club. If you would want to wander through any North America second largest park, which is the outdoor club, or we also have a Dragons and Dungeons club where you can demonstrate your leadership skills. We also have something which is very different from all other universities, which is a St. Mary Student Legislative Council. And in this, you will be able to meet the president, every alternate week. And the president itself will come and be discussing these issues, and he will be volunteering with you across the campus. So, there are there are very few universities wherein you will be able to say that you are able to meet the president, and the president will know you by name, and at the same time, you will be able to address the concerns of students. Now, coming to the travel study, we have a lot of opportunities in terms of travel as well while you're completing your courses at St. Mary University. Through our experiential learning department, sorry for that, we have different chances or different countries where you can travel either to internships or international partnerships with other institutions, travel study courses, or through our Bachelor's of Education International Teaching Pactorium. So we have a lot of options that you can actually go. Then you have Bamfield Marine Center, Belize, Italy, France, Morocco. So it depends on what you're actually wanting to study, what your program is, and then you can go according to that. So let's say if you would want to study marine biology, then definitely Bamfield Marine Science Center is a place for you. Let's say if you would want to study Mediterranean cultures, then you can go to France or Morocco. If you would want to study, let's say, interdisciplinary studies, then you can go to Italy, or you can go to, if you would want to have any religious studies done there, or if you would want to just explore the coral reefs, then you can go to Belize. So there are many travel options as well for students, where students can travel, and they can actually experience this culture as well. So this actually gives you culture awareness, which is what we were talking about earlier too, and this can actually let you experience that 1 week in a different, mindset, or in a different space environment altogether. Now, coming to our learning center, we have a lot of things that we do on campus. So we also have something which is called as a learning center. Here you can find peer mentors, which are students nominated by their professors as being strong in certain disciplines, and they can help you basically as a private tutor for free. So basically, a peer mentor is something that can help you tutor absolutely free. Um, However, the peer mentor does end up getting some kind of wages from the university. So this is also one of the ways wherein you can have a part-time opportunity, which is in the university itself. Then we also have, writing labs where you can spend time editing your papers in a computer lab under directions of an English professor. This is actually one of the best initiatives that you can take for yourself, which will actually boost your grades. Then we also have successful strategy seminars, wherein we have seminars which are for 45 minutes approximately on different topics, which are for career development, like how to cite a university level paper, or employability 101, or time management, or study skills, dealing with stress. So there have been several successful seminars, which are actually a great way to learn life skills that are not only applicable to the university, which is exactly why we're very proud when we say we're a liberal art university, and we make sure that the students learn personal and professional development. Now, coming to our Indigenous Initiative, St. Marie is actually located on the hereditary lands of the Blackfoot and the people of the Treaty 7 region. So, St. Mary is very committed to the truth and reconciliation by supporting students through an inclusive learning environment, demonstrating respect and understanding of the land the university sits on. And this is an event where all of the university faculty members, students, all the other team members who are working at the university, the staff, they all get together and they build a teepee, which is basically mentioned in the picture there. So they basically do smudging, they do a special honor song, then they receive their first teepee raising, and then they, have an eagle feather or a metastash to kind of raise the occasion. So there's a graduation ceremony also that happens at the very same spot. And it's very, very surreal, because that just shows how the university is dedicated to respecting all of the citizens, and make sure that all of the other members who are joining the university are respecting. Now, coming to the applications. Applications for international students is a lengthier process. So we would suggest that you can begin your applications, say at least 3 months prior to your term. So the deadlines for applications for fall term would be June 1st, and for winter term it will be October 31st, which means that if you guys are still wanting to know more about St. Mary University, and if at the end of the presentation, if you would like, you can certainly get in touch with Richard, and he'll be able to help you with the entire process in terms of St. Mary applications. So basically what you need in terms of being eligible for St. Mary University is, how you would be eligible to study in Canada would be, you need to have an STMU. So you basically need to have a St. Mary letter of acceptance. You need to have a valid passport. You need to submit a complete application, which is our application fee, which is of 175 Canadian dollars. And at the same time, you also need to provide proof in terms of your tuition fee, in terms of living expenses, return transportation, and if there's, of course, you need to be a law-abiding citizen. You will not be a risk to the security of Canada. So basic formalities in terms of confidentiality are shared, and you need to just make sure that you're in good health as well, wherein if necessary, you're also willing to take a medical exam. So that is actually about St. Mary University, and I'm just going to be now talking about the application process. So the application process is very simple. For anyone who is wanting to study an undergraduate program in Bachelor's of Arts, you need to secure a minimum of 65% in your 12th standard. Along with that, you need to score 60% or 60 marks in 5 core subjects. And I will be sharing the program matrix with you in like just about 5 minutes. So I will be sharing, a detailed program matrix for you to understand this much better. Along with that, you need to have 175 Canadian dollar application fee paid. With that, you will need to have your English proficiency test, which can be IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE. We accept Duolingo for now, but during the visa times, you will have to take an IELTS or a TOEFL. So we would always recommend students to do the same. So these are our English proficiency test requirements. Like, so for example, if it's a TOEFL, you need to have a minimum of 27 in speaking, 25 in writing, 23 in listening, and 23 in reading as well. If it's IELTS, then you need to have a 6.0 score overall with no module less than 0. If it's a PTE, then you need to have a 59 minimum overall for all our BA and BSc programs. For our Bachelor's of Education program, which is the after degree program, only TOEFL is accepted. So I will now just stop my screen for a minute and just share a presentation or a program matrix, sorry, and just share a program matrix with you guys. So now just quickly talking about the program matrix and the programs that we have at St. Mary's University. Currently, we have 3 intakes for all of our bachelor programs in BA or BSc, which will be Jan, May, and September, which is winter, spring, and fall. Most of our programs are 3 years and 4-year programs. Excuse me. Most of our programs are 3 years and 4-year programs with equivalent of 90 or 120 credits respectively. For any of our undergraduate programs in arts, which is BA, you need to score a minimum of 65% overall, with 60% in 5 core subjects, which means that you need to have English, which is a mandatory subject. Then you can have either one of mathematics or any other language apart English, which can be a regional or your native language as well. Then you need to have 2 of PCB or any 2 of these subjects, which can be either PCB, which is physics, chemistry, biology, sciences, social studies, history, commerce, economics, civics, psychology, sociology, or geography. So you need to have any 2 of these mentioned subjects. And then you need to have one another subject, which will be either art, physical education, or business. So the entire compilation will be 1 of English, 1 of either mathematics or any other language, 2 of the below mentioned subjects, and another subject which can be into business, arts, physical education, or psychology. You need to score a minimum of 60%. Along with that, you need to have your IELTS, as I already mentioned, which is 6.0 overall and no module less than 6. For TOEFL, it has to be 80 with no component below 19. For PT, it's 59. Now, all of these are undergraduate programs, and the fee per year would be $24,900 per year, respectively, which will also include your athletic computer resources, your student association fee, and your UPARs. This is basically the same academic criteria for all of our Bachelors of Arts programs. Now coming to our Bachelors of Biology program, which is BSc in Biology. Again, the intakes would be the same, but it's a 4-year program. And the only difference in this would be that you need to have biology, chemistry as mandatory subjects along with English and math or second language. So which means that your core subjects cannot be anything else but English, maths or a second language, biology and chemistry are mandatory, and then you need to have 1 additional subject. Again, your 10th and your 12th scores, IELTS, PT, or TOEFL, which is similar for all of our programs when coming to BA programs or BSc programs. Now coming to our Bachelor's of Education program, which is basically what we call BEd, and it's a 2-year after degree program. This program is only in September intake. It is for 2 years. The application fee still remains the same, which is 175 Canadian dollars. However, if you are getting into an elementary degree, then you can have a 3-year or a 4-year bachelor degree with 2 English courses, 1 math course, 1 science course, and 1 social study course. But you need to have 75% in your bachelor's degree, your 10th and your 12th transcripts, and you need to have 3 LORs, what we call, which is letter of references, which can be professional or academic, and a resume or a CV showing your experience where you worked with children or youth. Now, when you're going to a Bachelor's of Education, which is a secondary year, then you need to have a 4-year degree. No 3-year bachelor degree is allowed for this program. You need to have a 4-year degree You need to have 75% in your bachelor's degree. You need to have university transcripts, 3 letters of recommendation, and a resume. And for these courses, the PT changes wherein the overall has to be 8.0 with no module less than 7. If you're doing TOEFL, which is if you're doing TOEFL, it has to be a minimum of 27 in speaking, 25 in writing, 23 in listening and reading, and we do not accept PT for these programs. And this program, the tuition fee would be 31,470 per year, including athletics, computer resources, student association fee, and UPass. So that is basically about all our programs in terms of Nipsing University. So I'm just going to stop my screen here and we can actually stop for some questions.
Hi, Pankti. So the first question that we have is for Vincent regarding the biological studies. In the biology, do you have specializations as well in biological studies?
Currently, we are only doing Bachelor's of Science in Biology. There's no there's no specific specialization, but what is the student looking into?
So Vincent, if you can let us know if you are looking into specifics, then probably, Pankti will be able to help you there. You can write it down. Uh, uh, Studies on species.
Studies on species?
Yeah.
No, we do not have a specific program that kind of leaves it there, but all that I can address you or all that I can suggest you is that you can get into the first year of degree and then you can move to the specialization where you can become a wildlife biologist. So there are certain careers with our biology degree, but for that you need to study a minimum of 4 years and then get into specializations.
Perfect. There is also basically I saw in your presentation that maths or other language. So is maths not mandatory?
Yes, so we don't have maths as mandatory because for many of our arts program, maths is usually not there. So if they do not have maths, but if they've scored 70 marks or more than 70 marks in their 10th standard, they do not need to give an Accuplacer test, which students otherwise would have to give. So let's say if someone does not have maths, but if they still would want to qualify for a program, they might have to give maths depending on what program are they choosing. And if the student has scored, 70 marks and above in their 10th standard, then the student does not have to give an Accuplacer. If the student also has a second language where the math is not a mandate requirement, for example, for a program like BSc in biology, then the student can definitely go ahead and do the program with the native language. So math is not a mandatory, but for few programs it is.
Okay. There's a question from Mr. Prasad Navalekar. He wants to know how do you compare computer science education versus job potential in US and Canada?
Okay, well,
The question basically, Prasad, is what are you planning to compare? The
yeah.
computer science education versus job potential in USA and Canada. I guess all the courses are market driven. So in that perspective, every university wants to see that their students are employable, they get a job. Pankti, if you would like to add something on that.
Certainly. So, when talking about, computer science courses, of course, everyone or every university or every country rather would want to promote at the specializations, making sure that they are diversifying or, I would say increasing more jobs in terms of US to Canada. So both of the countries have their own respective, uh, I would say, job markets for computer science. However, I would rather tell you or I would rather suggest if you go through in terms of what exactly are you looking in terms of universities? Are you looking to only study? Are you looking for a stay back option? What are your career options after you get a PGWP? So it depends on what are your future plans as well. Because for US and Canada, again, everything differs in terms of your studies, then your post graduation work permit, and then further. So it depends on how you would want to take it. And then depending on the countries, you can then decide, because it's a good course, and certainly for both of the countries, there's been ample opportunities in terms of that course. So, be it be Canada or US, you will get a better opportunity no matter where you go. It just depends on your spending capacity. It depends on how you're looking to go ahead in terms of settling for the country, and what is your preference for sure.
Perfect. So, Prasad, you got it that basically in terms of job opportunities, both USA and Canada, there are ample job opportunities. What is important is what you want to achieve. Suppose you want to get a faster immigration, then probably Canada would be a better choice. Or basically, you want to go to Silicon Valley, or basically, probably you have some other choices where you want to basically work for, then you can look at US as well. Difficult to compare two different countries because each has their own uniqueness, but very well answered. There is also basically, thank you, Pankti, for that.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
the last question that we have is for the bachelor's in education. You mentioned that the student has to complete 4 years of bachelor's to
So
qualify.
basically, for Bachelor's of Education, if a student gets into the primary level, which is our first level, then the student can do a 3 year or a 4 year degree. If the student gets into a secondary level, then the student needs to complete a 4 year program.
Fine. So if the course student has basically done a BA, BEd, that would qualify for 4 years, right?
Yes.
Uh, okay, there's one more question about you mentioning that it's a 3 months of process. So the student wants to know basically that after the student application is done, the documents are submitted. Why such a long process?
Usually the process is long in terms of, when you have the application done and you're about to receive the offer letter, we need to make sure that you are also, so are you talking about before the offer letter or after the offer letter? Because you get
Before
the
the offer
offer
letter.
letter, so you will get the offer letter. So the turnaround time for the offer letter is maximum 7 days, which is 1 week. But even before the offer letter, we need to understand if you require an AccuPlacer test or no, if you qualify for maths or no, the program that you're choosing, do you meet the academic criteria in terms of mathematics or other languages? So that also has to be checked, which may increase the offer letter time as well, because you will have to give the AccuPlacer test if you require AccuPlacer in terms of you being admissible to that program, and that's an online test which happens before. So that itself might extend the off letter time to from 7 days to 2 weeks time. And then post that, it also then depends on how you're making the payments and everything, because you will then have to meet with our academic advisors, and they will able to help you and guide you in terms of what courses should you be picking, and they will be supporting you in that as well. So the entire procedure from start to the end may take that much, but and that is of course I would say stricter guidelines on that. But we, of course, mold it, because many of the times, if all of the documents are correct, then it gets quicker as well. But that's the maximum time frame.
Perfect. In fact, there are three more questions. One
Please.
is basically regarding the career service opportunities that St. Mary's offer
Okay.
for students.
So basically, currently we do not have any co-op or internship programs. But as I was saying in my presentation as well, that you have an option where you can do peer tutors, wherein you can tutor your fellow students if you're really excelling in a particular discipline, and you get part-time wages from the university itself. At the same time, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Calgary has a very low population. Because of that, there are a lot of opportunities which are in and around the institution as well as in Calgary itself. Secondly, Calgary is also a very, I would say, affordable place in terms of housing, in terms of expenses also, because let's say if you're living in Calgary, you end up paying a sale tax of only 5%. Wherein if you live at other places like Vancouver and Toronto, you end up paying a sales tax of 12%. So let's say any groceries that you buy, Calgary, the sale tax is always lower, which means that if you live in Calgary, you will have savings, you have affordable housing, You have abundance of housing because there's low population density, and which is exactly why the government itself is promoting a lot of options in terms of immigrations also, in terms of opportunities also, and it is a place where students can easily fit in terms of the climate as well. So certainly that is one of the reasons why Calgary or St. Mary should be an apt university for you.
Does the university have any job fairs?
No, no, we don't have any job fairs. I mean, it's only been during the COVID time that it's been stopped. But yes, we are now looking to, once everything gets back to a normal world and when everyone is back on campus, then we're looking at certainly having more activities for students in terms of helping students in terms of getting jobs, maybe placements, maybe co-ops as well. But for now, currently, we do not have it.
Perfect. What about the accommodation facilities?
We currently do not provide any on-campus accommodation. However, we help students to, or rather, we assist students and let them know where they can get accommodations and where they can stay. So we have a lot of queries that come in from our international students who would want an accommodation, and we guide them accordingly. But currently, we do not have anything on campus. But our faculties and our academics will help you to help you to find or source an accommodation for sure.
Perfect. That's all, Pankti, that I had for you. And thank you very much for coming on Student News
Good.
webinar and for explaining
Always,
everything to us.
always a pleasure. Thank you again, students, and thank you so very much, Richard. I just would want to thank Education Abroad Counseling Center. It's been a great journey for me always, and I wish you guys all the very luck. And if there is anything, Richard, you can always let me know. And
Perfect.
thank you, students, again. Take
So,
care.
students, if you are applying for January 2022
Yes.
intake, the process time is now because it is a lengthy process and you will get enough time later on to apply for your visa as well.
Wait, thank you. Thank you so much,
Bye,
Richard.
Pankti.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.